Hey everybody, welcome back. More Black Sonata. John Kean, the designer, has tweaked the rules. You may be aware of this. He has added a sixth suit. As I understand it, there are 11 Dark Lady candidates that historians are kind of point to as possible Dark Ladies in William Shakespeare's sonnets. And that required John initially to have this odd suit arrangement where he had five suits, but one of the suits had three dark ladies assigned to it, and all the other suits had two dark ladies assigned to it, and then that was kind of awkward. What he has done is add a sixth suit, Thistle. He has added a 12th dark lady. That dark lady has not yet been identified. I guess he's going to have to sort of research this and figure out one of the outlier candidates who really wasn't probably one of the possible 11, but might be. So just because he wants to, I know he wants to historically have somebody in the number 12 spot who at least isn't completely far removed from William Shakespeare. Anyway, enough about the history of the game. So we six suits, 12 dark ladies, two ladies per suit. What else did he do? Well, he's changed the modes of play, and therefore he's adjusted the scoring to a certain extent. So now there's a training mode. That's where you're allowed to move and search in the same turn. Normally you either move or you search, but you can't do both in the same turn. But when you're first learning the game, you might try this once. It's very easy. You shouldn't have a problem finding the Dark Lady in training mode, but it'll allow you to sort of get your feet wet in the game. Easy mode, two cards are removed from the deck, and they are cards of the suits that are. There's a little chart if you look on the new print and play version of Black Sonata. There's a little chart. So basically, as I recall, two suits clockwise from the Dark Lady suit, those two cards are removed. Does that sound right? Basically, you look at the suit of the Dark Lady in easy mode, and then you count two suits to the right clockwise. Not to the right. You count two suits clockwise, and the two Dark Lady cards of that suit are removed from the deck. You start with 12 Dark Ladies. You remove the actual Dark Lady is removed, so that's 11. You remove two more, that brings you down to 9. And then you remove the matching suit card and move it to the bottom of the location deck, because you won't get that until you visit all the locations. So at the start of the game, you'll have 8 clues in your clue deck. And if you are playing in easy mode, the score is reduced by 5 points. In normal mode, you play with all 6 suits, and the score, I guess, doesn't get an adjustment of any sort. In advanced mode, you remove 2 cards again, but this time you remove 2 cards of the suit that is one suit clockwise from the Dark Lady suit. I guess he set it up so that removing those 2 clues could make the game harder. And in that case, you get an extra 5 points added to your score. And then finally, in expert mode, this really hasn't changed. In expert mode, you remove a number of fog cards at the beginning of the game, and you play with all 6 suits. And you'll score 5 extra points for each fog card you remove from the beginning of the game. So while you have to remove at least one, but that would only give you 5 points, which is the same as advanced mode, aside from the fact that you're playing with all 6 suits. I don't know, it seems to me if you're going to go for expert mode, you probably should remove 2 fog cards at least. Oh, and I asked John about the question of notes, and he said he prefers to play without notes for the most part. He said that, you play whatever way you want to play that gives you the most fun. So I was going to play with notes today, but now I feel a little intimidated. So I think today, for playing with the new rules, I'm going to go all out. Let's jump all the way to expert mode. Let's remove 2 file cards. As far as a sequence is concerned, let's not even use one of the standard 8. We'll use one of the additional sequences that are in the back of the rule book, and I'll let my program choose between moderate and hard. The big difference between moderate and hard is that in moderate mode is comparable to these sequences in that you're playing with a 26-card stealth deck. Hard is you're playing with a 24-card stealth deck. Now, even in hard mode, it's possible he's adjusted the sequences to make them still even harder, because he can have the Dark Lady, for example, be at houses and churches more often than she's in rural areas and taverns, and by doing that, it just makes the game harder. So I'm going to let my program choose. Now, if I were playing with the actual components, I wouldn't be able to do this. I'd have to have somebody else set up the deck for me and not tell me what they did. And then I'd start playing with that deck, and eventually, if I were counting the cards, I'd figure out that, oh, it's a 24-card deck or a 26-card deck, so at least then I would know what kind of sequence I was playing with. I think, at the very least, I'm probably going to have to count cards. If I'm not taking notes, I'm going to have to count cards just so that if there's a point where I know where the Dark Lady is, I'm going to have to remember that she's there at a certain card, so that the next time around, or the third time around through the deck, I can catch her there. So, I mean, I can generally remember trends. Oh, she was here, she was in the southeast, she was in the northeast, she went to the west, whatever. But there's no way I'm going to remember, all the various locations she might have visited. But if she ever visits one location, or if I can ever conclude that she visited one location and I wasn't there, I can make a note of that, hopefully, and there won't be too many of those situations arising, I wouldn't think, when playing in moderate or hard mode. Now, but when I'm playing with an additional sequence, I can choose to use the Dark Lady must move every turn sequences, or the Dark Lady may not move every turn sequences. I'm going to leave this box unchecked. That way, my program is going to choose one of the 3 moderate sequences, or one of the 3 hard sequences that in which the Dark Lady may or may not move in every turn. I'll stick with possible reversing of the sequence, and obviously we'll cut the deck during setup. So I think we're good to go here. Just prepare for me to be destroyed. I don't, now I'm not taking notes. Now we're in expert mode. I don't think this is going to end well, folks, but it's going to be an experiment for sure. So here we go, and I am going to have to talk a lot just to remember in my brain what the heck's going on and where the Dark Lady was at any point in time. All right, so I always start in Cornhill, so why change now? We're going to go in the Cornhill. And, okay, so she's in a church, so she could be anywhere on the board. Not a good way to start. And I know I eventually, you can't win the game without that clue that's underneath the location deck. So now the game really does force you to visit all 11 locations just to get that clue. If you don't, I guess you have to you'll end up making a 50-50 guess with all the other clues, because you'll only have it narrowed down to 2 possible sets of traits. I guess that's the way John has worked it out. So normally I rarely move. If you've watched my other two videos, I think I usually visit 4, maybe 5 locations tops. So now I'm going to have to make an effort, probably through the first time through the deck, to well, that's interesting. My program says has not reduced the number of fog cards to 8. Or maybe because I haven't hit start yet? I told the program to discard 2 fog cards, so it's either not updated this number, or I'm not going to get credit for my 10 points if I win the game. So, which is unlikely, but I'm going to make a note of that. Fog card bug. Where are we? We're on the second card now. It's a house, a Shakespeare residence. And, I really have no particular reason to move right this moment. I'm going to have to wait to see what she does. So let's pass and move into card 3. Card 3, she's at a commercial area. Oh, from a house, she could only be in Cornhill. Well, that's a nice stroke of luck. This is perfect. I'm going to do my first search, and it's going to be a guaranteed search. Can't complain about that. Let me just make sure about this. So she came from a house. Okay, yeah. The only commercial area she can get to from a house is Cornhill. All right, so we're good to go here. She is definitely there. And this was the third. That was the third card, which is now a fog card. So I'm not going to be able to search in Cornhill again. But it was the third card. I have to remember that. And look, I got a clue that has 2 matches on it. My favorite. Ooh, wow. What a great way to begin. Maybe this won't be so bad after all. So we know the Dark Lady has a link and an inkwell, but not a baby rattle, possibly. Or she has a link and a baby rattle, but no inkwell. Or she has an inkwell and a baby rattle, but no link. All right, so that's a great way to start. Wow. So anyway, where are we? We're on a tavern. She moved only the one fog card to the bottom of the deck. So this would be card what? 4? Yeah, 4. Okay, and now she's in Eastcheap on card 4. Because the only tavern she could get to in one step from a commercial area, from Cornhill, is Eastcheap. So now there's a fog card at card position 3, and she is in Eastcheap on card 4. Got to make a note of that. Okay. All right, we're going to pass. Wow. Well, she could be back in Cornhill again. Or she's moving south to London Bridge. Do I do a 50-50 search? Well, it says I have 9 fog cards, but so my program has not given me the credit for the 2 fog cards. So depending upon whether I use up all the fog cards or not, I'm going to get that. I'm going to take that bonus at the end of the game of 10 points if I win. Anyway, that's a bug I'm going to have to fix at some point. Not too worried about it right now. I could do a search, and I normally do 50-50 searches, but with this great clue, I think I'm more tempted now to go just visit all the locations. So I'm going to start my trek, I think, around the board. I think. I do like 50-50 searches. I don't mind those odds. But can I get away with 2 searches in Cornhill back to back? I don't don't know about that. Let's move to East Cheap, I think. Yeah, let's move to East Cheap. Oh, that's the way. I'll just kind of go this way around the map, and eventually we'll end up in Bishopsgate, and then I'll get my special clue. And let's see where she goes from here, because that might give me a clue about where she is. What did I say this is? Card 5? Yeah, that'll give me a clue where she was on card 5. So I'm going to pass here. Well, it doesn't give me a clue. She could be anywhere. Well, she could be at any one. She could have been at Cornhill or London Bridge. So really the only thing we know is that she was an East Cheap on card 4, Cornhill 3, East Cheap 4, and I'm going to continue moving around the board. Here we go. Oh. So she couldn't have been in those locations. She had to have been in Southwark? Now I'm not thinking straight. Well, could she have been in these locations and only now she's back in Cornhill? I'm being tempted to do a search. It's early. Let's go for it. Oh, all right. All right, all right, all right. What do we get? Oh, a link, a heart, a link and a heart, a link and a note, a heart and a note, or none of the above. All right, let's take a look at our theories here. So if she has, based on the first clue, a link and an inkwell, that means she has to have a link and a heart or a note, but not both. Okay, I can't really make any other decision about that. If she has a link and a rattle and not an inkwell, same thing. She has either a link and a heart or a link and a note. So heart note or heart note in either of these theories. If she has an inkwell and a rattle, inkwell and a rattle, then she has none of these things. If she has no link, no, wait a minute. Yeah, she doesn't. If she has an inkwell and a rattle, she doesn't have a link. So if she doesn't have a link, she has a heart and a note. Oh, but she can't have a heart and a note and an inkwell and a rattle. So she wouldn't have a heart and a note. So no heart, no note. Which means it's inkwell and rattle and crown, or inkwell and rattle and ring. Either of those. But I can't pin it down any further. Anyway, where are we? We're going into round 6. Totally lost, forgot my count. I think she's at around card 8 or 9. Oh man, this is hard. Okay, well, let's persevere. We just searched for her, but she moved away 2 steps, so she could, now we don't know, she could be at either of these locations. Unlikely, she could have stayed in London Bridge. I could do another search, but I feel the same way about that, the way I felt about doing 2 successive searches in Cornhill. So I am going to just I'm just going to continue to move. "50-50 search. I don't know if I like my odds. It's unlikely I'd get 2 successive searches in the same location. But it is early in the game, and I'm in really good shape. Oh, what the hell. Oh, thank God. Oh, I was nervous about that. All right. What does this tell us? We know she has, in this theory, she has a link, so she has to have a heart or a crown. And this tells us she has a link and a heart or a crown. But this tells us a link and a heart or a note. And we know she has the inkwell in this theory. She can't have both, so it must be the heart. So I'm going to move a heart here, and no crown, no note. And therefore, no rattle in this theory. I think I worked that out right. This says link and rattle. So I think it's the same logic. It has to be a heart. Because if she has a link, she has a heart or a crown, or a heart or a note, and she can't have both. So it has to be a heart. I don't have to put all the, it's one of these two, I think. And then here, she has an inkwell and a rattle. Then she can't have two of these, so she has none of these. She doesn't have a heart, she doesn't have a, we know that. And she doesn't have any of these if she has an inkwell and a rattle, because she won't have two matches then. So she doesn't have a heart, she doesn't have a link, and she doesn't have a crown. And if she doesn't have a crown, then this has to be a ring. Totally lost count of what's going on. We just did a search. I have no idea what card we're on now. I totally lost it. All right, so I guess I'm just going to continue moving. She's going north anyway. She moved 3 steps. Oh, wait a second. She moved 3 steps, and she was in London Bridge, which means she had to go through Eastcheap here at around whatever card this is. God, it has to be around 15 or so. I don't know if that's going to help me at this point. All right, anyway, I'm just going to move to Southwark and continue my journey. Now we go to Liberty the Clink. Nothing else I can do. She's up way north. I'm going to go to Blackfriars. Okay, I don't really know anything about where she is. I'm going to St. Paul's. Somewhere around 15 to 20, she's in Cornhill. And she was in Cornhill on 3. She was in Eastcheap on 4. At this point, I'm going to go to Cripplegate. She moves to a church from Cornhill. I'm going to go to Clerkenwell. Now, I have no idea where she is. I'm going to Cripplegate. She's back north again. I'm going to Shoreditch. I'm one location away from my 4th clue, the magic clue that I need. And now we're ready to get that clue. So it is the clue of the sage suit, which matches the suit of the Dark Lady. You notice that John has removed the suits from this side of the cards, and now there is a mask card that you place over the clue deck, so you just don't know what suit is on the top of the clue deck. Just to help keep you from memorizing suits and symbols and stuff like that, because then that would spoil the game. Okay, so anyway, we know she has a heart and a link or an inkwell, but she can't have all 3. So this theory goes away. A link she can have, but she can't have a link and a heart. So this theory goes away. Inkwell, she doesn't have any of these. I think we just narrowed it down. As long as I didn't mess up my thought process, if I had my wits about me, I think we narrowed it down. I think she has an inkwell, a rattle, and a ring. Wow, I thought this game was going to be a disaster. So far, it's looking darn good. Could be one of my best games yet. So now the question is, what card is she on, and where can I best find her? Well, let me get back to the middle of the board so I'm more flexible. And if she goes to a commercial area from here, this is going to be magic, because she's going to be in Cornhill, and that'll be the game. But she doesn't, so she could be at any of these three. I think I'm just going to stay put until I see where she goes. Oh, well, there's the countdown card. Round 17. And with 3 fog cards used, because I did 3 searches, that was 1, 3, 6. I think it's 24 cards in the sequence, and we've just come back around to the top. So if we're back around to the top, only the second time through the deck. Wow. And I've already got the sequence pinned down, unless I blew my analysis. Where do I have to go? I have to go to Eastcheap. That's where I know she's going to be in about 2 or 3 cards, I think. Now, this should be a fog card when I searched in Cornhill. Yes. So now I don't need to use the fog card. I haven't used a fog card. I didn't use a fog card in the last game either. You know, because last game I was taking notes, and I just felt I just didn't need to take the risk of a fog card. Clearly here I don't need to use it. So let's just pass. And now we're going to do a search. She's not in Southwark. I know for a fact she's in Eastcheap. Now, John has confirmed to me that when in the round in which you're searching and confronting the Dark Lady, you don't get another clue. You do a search. Before you do the search, you put all 3 of your tokens on the board. You do a search. You confirm that you find her, and then, if you want to confront her, you don't take the clue. You just confront her and see if you won the game or not. So I'm going to do a search. It knows I have 3 tokens on the board. Yes, I'm ready to confront the Dark Lady. I'll let... 70 points, Immortal Bard. Oh, wow. I don't think I can play this game again. I can't play this game again. I'll never beat that score. Boy, and this was on the hardest level. John, you need to come up with some harder levels. Sorry, but I did get lucky here. I got lucky early on when she landed in Cornhill, where I was. I got lucky because my first clue had 2 matches on it. Perfect, really, a perfect distribution of clues. Everything lined up. Wow. So for this score, you count the number of cards. You would have counted the number of cards remaining before the countdown card. So this was card 4. So there's 20 cards remaining, I think. But then I get another 30 points. No, 24 points. Because I'm only twice through the deck. Let's see. So, well, it says I'm 46 points. No, you count. I think you start counting from the card that's on top of the deck. So that would be 24 less 3. So that would be 21 plus 24. Because I think there's 24. I can cheat and look at the travel screen now. Yep. Yeah, there's only 24. Well, there's 25 cards in the deck. So I think I would count 1, 2, 3. Well, 20. 25 less 3, 22, I think. and then I add 24 to that, and that's how it comes up with 46. I'm not sure if my program's doing that quite right, but still, it's an immortal bard. I got a great score. Points from fog cards, 14. Oh, but it gave me my bonus. But but then the fog cards would be at 5, so for the points from the fog card would only be 10. If a card count is off, maybe it's 64, 65, but that is over 60, and I am an immortal bard, folks. Wow, everything fell into position in this game. I couldn't ask for just a bet. Wow! I'm beside myself. John, get to work. I want a tougher challenge. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed Black Sonata. This is a fantastic solo game. Kickstarter should be finishing up real soon, so grab a copy. It's only 24 bucks. No shipping charge in the United States, and it'll be out before you know it. So I think it's supposed to be delivered around February, maybe March. Usually there's a month delay on Kickstarter games. Anyway, thanks for watching. Great game. See you later, folks.